Are you worried about your memory continuing to decline as you age? If that sounds like you, then you're probably also wondering how to improve brain power and memory, or if that's even possible. Well, in today's video, I am answering just those questions. And believe me, the answers may actually surprise you. Let's jump right on in. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause, chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, and specialized in clinical nutrition. In today's video, we're going to cover the number one biggest lie in memory. It's one that we have all heard and don't have to buy into any longer. Then we'll cover a little known fact about genetics and how it influences brain power and memory. And finally, we're going to cover exactly what's causing your memory problems and how to fix it once and for all. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Number one, the number one biggest lie in memory is that it's a normal part of aging. Have you thought that before? I can't even begin to tell you how many people that I have helped through the years that have thought that initially when they came to see me as well. It's what we've been taught to believe, right? It's just a normal part of aging for us to not remember things. You know, my dad likes to call it sometimer's disease. When you sometimes remember, you sometimes forget, on its way to Alzheimer's disease. But it's not true. Your memory not being sharp is a sign that something's not working properly in your brain. And here's the thing. My colleague, Dr. David Perlmutter, has talked about this before, and we know that dementia and Alzheimer's are totally preventable. They may not necessarily be curable. Well, given some time, maybe we can reverse the hands of time, but they are preventable, okay? You do not have to end up with no memory at the end of your life. Your brain actually can heal itself. This is what nobody realized. This is like probably within the last 5-10 years tops, research that's coming out is that our brain actually has the ability to heal and repair itself and generate new brain cells. Do you know that it used to be believed that the brain cells we were born with were the same ones that we died with? And now, like legitimately within the last decade at most, we've realized that that couldn't be further from the truth. We have ability to create new brain cells. One of the best ways to do that is by exercising. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, okay? Aerobic exercise seems to have the best results for this. What happens when we exercise better than any other way to get this outcome is we produce a hormone known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. That is your brain's growth hormone. And we produce the most of it and produce it the easiest through exercise. BDNF, it has to be present in order for your brain to generate new cells. Now, why is this important? Well, I don't know about you, but life is a little stressful, wouldn't you say? From time to time, at least. Maybe even more so over this past year. Stress, no matter how big or small, continuous or infrequent, stress stops your body from producing BDNF. So you can't produce new brain cells when you're stressed. And here's a worse fact about this. When you're stressed, stress actually kills current existing brain cells. So, you can do brain imaging, and one of the signs of aging is supposed to be a brain that starts to shrink in its size. Well, these are two key factors into how maybe that is happening. A sign of dementia and Alzheimer's is shrinkage of the brain. You don't want shrinkage of the brain. That's a really bad problem. You want a brain that's nice and plump and voluptuous. Well, BDNF is one of your keys for making sure that that actually happens. And when you exercise, you also combat stress, not only from a brain-derived neurotrophic factor, but from a body-wide, like regulating stress hormone factor. Okay, so this is the biggest lie, that it's just part of aging, and it's not. I'm here to tell you, it's absolutely not. You can improve your brain. It has so much more to do with how you're living life than what you were born like, okay, or what we're being told, which is really cool, super empowering. So I'm really curious, are you one of my people who believe too that memory is just a normal part of aging? Like, don't be shy, comment down below, let me know. Everybody around me feels this way, and I can completely understand why. It's what we've been taught, right? So the cool thing is you don't have to believe that anymore. We have the power to change it. All right, number two, we have to talk about this little known fact about genetics and how it influences your brain power and memory. There is so much wrapped up in our world right now around genetics, especially when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia. And we believe, because we've been taught or conditioned to believe, that if Grandpa Joe and Grandma Jean had dementia or Alzheimer's, well, I'm probably destined to get it too because it runs in my family. There is a genetic variant that is linked with Alzheimer's, but there's something you need to know about genetics. And this is related to Alzheimer's or cancer or anything else that appears to run in your family. Your family's past does not have to be your future story. And here's why. There is a newer body of research too. This has definitely been within the last decade, known as epigenetics. Epigenetics is the study of gene expression. Now, what in the world does that mean? Hang in there with me, okay? We'll clear the technobabble up. Think of your genes as like light switches. If it's turned off, whatever that gene is coded for doesn't get expressed in your body. When the switch gets flipped and it's turned on, now whatever that gene is coded for gets expressed. So the gene for Alzheimer's, as long as it stays turned off, you're not going to end up with Alzheimer's. Okay? Just because you have a gene for something, and by the way, most of the diseases and illnesses that appear to run in our family do not actually have genetic links. Okay? So that's tip number one, hint number one. Remember when we discovered the breast cancer gene and women were getting tested and having double mastectomies if they tested positive for that gene? It's a really invasive and very drastic decision, and I can understand why women were doing that. But here's the issue. They didn't necessarily have to do that. If they test positive for that particular gene, all that really means is they are predisposed to having it. But again, that gene, just like one that's linked with dementia or Alzheimer's, as long as it stays turned off, like your light switch, then it doesn't get expressed. So how do we do that? It's all about lifestyle habits, guys. How you're living your life every single day, how you sleep, how you manage stress, what you're eating, if you're exercising, what are you drinking, all of these lifestyle factors, they have the ability and the power to turn genes on and also turn them off. So your family's past does not have to be your future story. And the biggest thing you need to know about this is you can take comfort if this is something that like memory issues seem to run in your family. You don't have to buy in that that's just how your life's going to be. You need to look at your lifestyle and see what are you actually doing on a regular basis that may not be the best for you, that has the potential for robbing your brain of its optimal level of function, or if there is an underlying genetic link of actually turning that switch on and now having you experience what that gene is coded for. Now, before I get into what is actually causing your memory problems, I just want to give you a little reminder to hit that subscribe button down below. I am putting videos out on a weekly basis that have to deal with improving memory, decreasing brain fog, just optimizing brain health, and overall what I like to call achieving total body mastery. So hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss out on a future episode. Awesome. Number 3, what is actually causing your memory problems? Well, it's different for everybody. Okay. But there is something to be said for knowing what the cause is. Having some issues with short-term memory, like say you walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there in the first place, it's a signal that something's not working right in your body. Just like, if you have an ache or a pain somewhere, that's a sign something's not right. Or if you have digestive problems, any symptom that you ever have, and memory problems is one of them, is a signal from your body that something is not working the way that it was supposed to. Here's the thing though. If part of what you've been trying to do to improve your memory has been purely just focusing on memory types of solutions, you're probably not making the headway that you would hope you could be making because you're focusing in on a symptom. That's symptom-based care. It's the same thing as like, say, have you ever seen a stain on a ceiling? Symptom-based care would be looking at that stain on the ceiling and go, aha, I know what I'm going to do to take care of this, and just paint over it. It's like sticking a Band-Aid on it. It doesn't fix the underlying cause of why the stain ended up there in the first place. So if you have been focusing your efforts to try to improve your memory on things that are only focused on memory, then we could be missing a big part of the equation, right? Like with the ceiling, you have to peel the layers back to figure out where is the leak that caused this stain. With memory, you've got to peel the layers back with the body and be like, okay, what's not working right? And there are so many different possibilities and variables out there because you and I are nothing alike. We're unique. Where we live is unique. How we live is unique. What our genetic makeup is unique as much as we do have control over that. But we're all different. So why would anyone ever be able to have the same results as somebody else did with a particular memory boosting supplement or memory boosting program? No, you have to delve in deeper and figure it out. Now, how in the world do you do that? Well, the only real way to know is to test. If you're not testing, you're guessing. Now, this is testing that looks at the whole body, not just select areas of it. I mean, there are tests that you can do to see how's the brain functioning, but Symptom-based care, where these symptoms present, is not always the same location as where the cause of the problem may be. So what does that mean? If you focus just on brain tests, you're missing other factors that could very much so influence your brain's health. So you have to test the body as a whole. This is what I do with my patients. When you do that, you're able to see, how are the organ systems behaving? Are there different nutrient imbalances and deficiencies? Is there a chronic level of inflammation, or maybe there's a low-level infection that has continued to challenge the body? Or better yet, maybe there is a huge amount of toxicity that's there that nobody knows about because nobody's testing for it. How are you going to know really what the cause is if you don't have the ability to test? So the number one way to figure out exactly what's causing your memory problems is to test, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you're serious about taking back control of your brain's health and improving memory and actually figuring out what is causing your memory challenges in the first place, then I have a gift for you. If you look down in the description below, you will see a link. That link takes you to a free copy of my ebook, From Sluggish to Unstoppable. This book is going to share with you the exact process I use with my patients. It's the key to everything, of really figuring out what's causing your memory problems or any other health challenges you may be dealing with. So just click the link down in the description below and you will get immediate access. I appreciate you. I hope that this was of use for you, and I'm so excited to have you start taking back control of your health. We'll see you in the next episode.